What is up, party people? Who be watching? ECY Dubs. I smelled the apple strudel. Yeah. Whoa. People coming in hot. What's up? French toast, baby. That's everything I can't have in a breakfast item. What's up, Danielle? How did I do it? So, yeah. Pam, Jackie, Danielle. Ra-ta-ta-ta. The apples. Okay. Hi, Pam. Shalanda, you get service up there? Jesus Christ. Oh, good. Did you like it? It doesn't matter. It's one of those things. Yeah, what did you think, Kathy? Elliot. Only 20 minutes in. Okay. Okay. So, Elliot, are you ready to come on? Because you said you needed time. What's up, John? Negative. Okay. Well, I'll start. What do you think? Can you give me an ETA? What are we doing here? Jay, what's up? I'm getting not in the car. Why don't you just stay in the fucking... Oh, are you moving? You can LK it if you want. Oh, well, all right. What time is it in Texas? 10:32. Yeah, you got to get that alcohol. I get it. The video did a great job of showing his frustration and how that can lead to aggression. So here's the other part of that, and I'll give you a little tip, Kathy. When I asked you before, I remember we had a long conversation, and I was like, can you take food away from Mike? And you were like, yeah. And I said, can you take food away from Mike? You're like, yeah. When you're giving something to a dog that is happily going to get it back, so people will take and give and take and give, or the dog is in a low state of drive, or the dog's full, or whatever. It's a different story if the dog's frustrated. If the dog's frustrated, that the more you are frustrated, the more you are likely to become aggressive. Does that make sense? So the whole part of that is that if you look at the dog, we all think we know our dogs. Like, it's M with the food drive. Oh, she's got food drives of 10. Food drives of 2, maybe a 2. That's a kind 2. Like, I can show you food drive where I'm on a second story here in my office. I can throw a piece of kibble out the window, and I'll show you a dog that will jump right out the window and hurt itself. And then I'm not going to do this. Everybody calm the fuck down. I'm making it clear what food drive is, what a 10 is. Then I can bring that injured dog back up here. I can throw the food out the window again, and it will be compelled to go out the window and do the same thing again, because the food is the priority over pain and safety. That's a 10. Yes, that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to take all your dogs and throw them right out the window. And if you do that, you're a dumbass. So it's relative. And that brings me, what? You ready? What's the ETA here? So what I wanted to do today is that I talk to a lot of people a lot. Hi, Chelsea. Like 5 Mexican minutes. Okay. That's racist. I talk to a lot of people every day about dogs. Every day. And it's interesting to get that feedback from people and what people's point of view is, what people's reality about dogs is. Hi, Candace. It boggles my mind how little people know about dogs. Now, I'm not shitting on anybody. Oh, hang on one sec. Oh. 2 comments. Oh boy. Ugh. See, I can't even. All right. So what was I saying? Oh, it boggles my mind how people don't understand what dogs are capable of. Yeah, I'm not. It's hard because I got some screenshots yesterday from someone I barely heard of who used to hate my guts and says, because she was on a group and they were shitting all over me. The guy thinks he's God and he puts down other trainers. It's weird when you hear that because I think I build up other trainers. But when other trainers are doing shit that is they don't know what they're doing. I go back to the dog on the mat, the with the muzzle and the e-collar. Like I don't know how anyone can see that that's the answer to how you do that. So not only that, you can try to help that person, but then that person does death threats and fucking physical violence threats and sends shit to your house and sends shit to your business, calls your wife, we're talking about what happened on the mat, not my wife, not my business, and you need to get better if you're going to be a dog trainer. I mean, like right now, I wouldn't give you a dog I was going to put to sleep. Yeah, I know, but that's the point, is that we can't, we're holding back. Like we can't do what we want to do because even you guys, you got to be brought up to speed. You got to be brought up to like clear the cobwebs of what what you think a dog is. It's very difficult, and I'm I'm at a point where it's mostly behavior that we're working on, like how do you live with the dog and stuff like that. And there's so many people who can treat the symptoms poorly and you'll pay them a lot of money. So when you say, for instance, someone just posted a video of their dog that they're proud of, I'm assuming, and I said, your dog still doesn't trust you. And you're going to get some kind of justification of that. And it's super hard because then you hurt someone's feelings. Like I'm not saying you're a fucking asshole. I'm saying your dog doesn't trust you. And they don't say, how do you know that? Or why would you say that? Actually, I think this person did. But what happens most of the time is you just get attacked. And so how can we educate people who think they're already educated that are ignorant? How can we do that? Somebody tell me. How do we do that? How do we do that? I don't know. Ego gets in the way. Money gets in the way. Greed. You can't if they're not willing. That's right. But the problem is that if you, I guess, if you say something for the benefit of other people, meaning you're on a group and someone posts something and they say, like literally say, what do you think of this? That's right. And you say, here's what I think. Not only does that person come at you, but all their friends come after you. And you can say it in the nicest way. You can say it in the nicest way. You could say it so nice to them. But the toughest people in the world have the most fragile egos. And now they put their work out there for millions of people to see. And they didn't think someone might come along and say it's not the best, or it's not good, or it's horrible. They just thought, my friends are going to validate me. So what about the dog? So the dog has to go through bullshit after bullshit after bullshit because you can't take the advice of someone, and you don't have to do anything with the advice, but it can't even be put out there. It can't be put out there. So a long time ago, people were saying, this guy needs to show his work. This guy needs to show his work. Okay, I showed it. I show you what I can show you because Not because it's violent or bad or anything like that. It's just that people. I'll give you an example. I had this is what it looks like just before I quit, and I got 3 emails that said, you gave that lady a beat down. And see, isn't that funny? Because I care about that lady. So I didn't give her a beat down. I thought I gave her a wake up. And people saw it as a beat down. A beat down? You've never been beaten down, have you? You know, it's wake up, not beat down. It's tough. What's up, Janelle? It's tough. Yeah, I know. But the problem is that's fine and that's great, and I'll continue to move forward. But my problem is that it's so simple to say, well, I don't like the way I was spoken to. What'd you pay me for? You paid me to just talk? And you can ignore me and then say, this is what's happening? Like, why isn't this working? I don't get that. I don't get that. You know, Elliot has a great story. I don't know if she'll tell it. About the way dogs are now, and the way people are with dogs. It's very frustrating because with all the dog trainers we have in this country and in the world, really, I should be able to put a video out and people should be able to say, yep, I know that. Yep, I know that. But people aren't doing that. People are like, the fuck is happening? And then I prove it and makes sense, right? So I'm not saying anything that's not true. Like I'm showing you basic shit, as much as I can, showing you basic shit. So show your work. Okay. Then I did the breakdowns. People say, why don't you let people break down your work? All of my work is available for you to break down publicly. Please feel free. The work I publish, feel free. Feel free to break it down. Feel free. Okay. So show your work. I've done that, and I continue to do that. Why don't you have someone break you down? Please feel free. Now, where are all the people that said that? Where are they? Every time someone comes at me hard, every fucking time I say, come on, show me your work. Well, you're fat. I know. You have a blemish on the end of your nose right there. I know. You're ugly. I know. Believe me, I know. I know. But what about the dog training? What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? Are we talking about training the dog, or are you so fucking defensive that you're like, and we were talking about, like, I'm just talking about, like, you know, if it's an equivalent of a dog, it's like I'm talking about giving you some positive reinforcement, and you're taking it like you're taking it like I'm beating your ass, like I'm gonna hurt you. And the problem is because those people, they have been told what dog training is. They have been told what dog training is, and they think they got it. But if you look around to all the happy joy in the world right now, in the dog world, where everybody's like positive vibes, and everybody's like, oh, let's get a licky mat, and let's all this. Do you have any idea how bad it sucks to be a dog nowadays? Do you have any idea? It fucking sucks. So people want to get what they want to hear, but that is deceitful, and the dog suffers. Yeah. Most have tried the purely positive route and now at their wits' end, but still don't want the truth. Correct. I can't wait to abuse a puppy again. I mean, I'm sitting here waiting to get my new team together to put together videos. Like, how do we get that message out there? But the problem is there's always people waiting in the weeds to bring you down. They are. They're absolutely waiting in the weeds to tear you down. And not because the information isn't good and the information isn't correct. It's because they're afraid. They're afraid. When you get to a point where you're like, some of my heroes, we can sit down and talk. We don't have to fucking, go fuck you. Like, that doesn't happen at the high levels of dog. I'm not talking about what you think the high levels of dog training. I'm talking about the high levels of dog training. Right. Tony, yes. Dinner, Tony, dinner. Are you a vegan or a vegetarian? Please. You are, aren't you? Yes, you are, aren't you? I know you are. You are. Are you? Nice! Carnivorous. A lame ass film. So, just talking to people and hearing their different perspectives, how, you want to do something positive with your dog, but your spouse, husband or wife, whatever, are like, no, that's mean. That's a problem. That's not the dog. That's you. You have social anxiety disorder, so you can't get out of the house to train your dog. You think your dog's like your kid? Yeah. Well, then you have to do everything I've ever had to do, which is put your kids in front of you, get up and get out there to a qualified trainer. But I don't want to. Then get rid of the dog. That's as simple as it gets. I saw a lady, she's a breeder locally, not in this state, but she's a breeder. And she bought 2 puppies from someone in Georgia. And the puppies came in and they were fine for about a week, and then they both had parvo. So she called her vet, and she's a seasoned vet tech, whatever. And she asked for him to drop off 2 syringes of euthanasia. Yeah. And people went nuts on her because she put those puppies down. Well, number one, she can't spend $3,000 trying to save those 2 puppies. Well, actually, number one is, how did the breeder not know they were sending out puppies with parvo? Number 2, that's expensive shit. And that puppy's going to suffer if you do it. There's no guarantee with a puppy, right? And it's painful. It sucks. They're shitting blood. It's terrible. If you've smelled parvo, you'll never forget it. So she puts the puppies down, and then somebody finds out about it and they're going crazy. What is she supposed to do? They said, surrender them to the shelter. So you want her to bring 2 puppies that are fucking positive for coronavirus, and you want her to bring those to the shelter. What does it say? I've heard people say that they were disappointed about their dog not being worked at a seminar, only in a private or for a short time. I reminded them, you're the professional. Yeah, it's not the dog, it's you. It's very expensive, and it's not. Yeah. That's fucking. So people who are now, they hear 2 puppies died, right? She put 2 puppies down. As a breeder, or as a breeder and an owner, I think she absolutely did the right thing, because she stopped suffering on so many levels. And let me tell you something. That is very difficult to do, to put any dog down. It's difficult. She spent the money on these puppies and got fucked. There she is. That's a great signal. That's probably me. Is it me? Yeah. So, good. Hang on, I'm just finishing a story. So
you were telling your story.
Yeah, what? She got fucked. And so the problem is, over and over again. No, you're not. You're fine. I don't know. Just shut up. So now the whole thing is, you hear something and you assume that it's the most nasty, abusive thing you ever heard. And because the dog experts, are the people who don't know about dogs now. And that is fucking frightening. This is such a deep problem that we'll never do anything to change it, except find the people who want the best training they can get, the best behavior work they can get, and the best practices they can get. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. If we try to do any more than that, the world's going to come down on my family and everybody else too. So it's tough. Hi.
But it's also getting people to understand that, like, training should take precedent over everything. Before vaccines start, the dogs should be getting proper training. I mean, because, like, I don't know about you, but I've treated some pretty untrained
Hold on.
animals.
Listen.
And
hang on.
sometimes I'm like, you know what? All right.
Listen to the desperation in her voice. Listen to how she is frustrated. Listen to how she is a fresh out the minivan, 26 years old, and saying,
It's true.
It's
true.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Treating untrained dogs, the dog, you know, it's from a perspective of like, I love dogs. I feel so, that's what makes me feel bad, because I'm like, God, you just don't understand, because nobody's told you it's okay. But like, I've taken some of my dogs in some really terrible situations where I'm like, yeah, this fucking hurts, but I'm not gonna bite you, because like, the dogs have been through. When my cattle dog was young, we were out on a drive and he got fucked up by some cactus, like cut his carpal pad off, hit into like up until like his forearms, it was just cactus, and he was just standing still, and I was like calling him, and nothing. He's just looking at me like, I can't move right now. So we go over there and I have to put him on the back of a horse because we are very far out. And if there is no training there, that doesn't happen, because he's got to be able to stay calm on top of another animal that's panicky in order for me to get him
another animal
in a relatively
driving.
Right. And he had to wait 2 hours because we can't stop moving the cattle because my dog is injured. I could just leave him there. That's the other option. If he can't do that, that's the option.
No.
He stays right where he's at.
Nope. The other option is you don't use dogs for herding. That's their answer.
Oh, yeah.
That's their answer.
Well,
can I ask you a question?
Good luck. I don't.
Did that dog ever get cactused again?
No. Much wiser to it, and his career lasted after that probably another 8 years.
How old is the dog now?
He's 19.
So you got a dog. You got a dog to 19 years old through being mean to it and having it do dog things?
Yes. And he's a fucking feisty 19-year-old. He still has sorry.
He's an Australian cattle dog.
Yeah. He's an asshole.
You ever try to euthanize an Australian
I'm gonna take him to the beach today.
They fight with you.
Yeah, they fight with you on everything. And that's what I was surprised about, because he was only like 3 or 4 when that happened. Or yeah.
We talk a lot
And
about,
it's
I don't know if
just
it's your,
you know what?
okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
I don't know if it's your connection that sucks or my connection that sucks, but you're very pixelated and I think there's a lag. I'm going to assume it's my connection just because it's always my connection.
Just kick me off. Try again.
All right, I'll boot you. So yours is good. Okay. So my problem is that we can't just take what we've learned and apply it. We can't do that. We have to start over again with people that don't even understand what a dog is. Now, these people that we have to start over again, as much as this hurts, we have to start over again with people. And do you have a closer place to your internet? Because that is like full on Mexican Texas internet right there. Hello?
I don't know. I'm close. I'm
okay. Come back when your internet goes up. So the problem is that there's so many experts that do not understand behavior. There's so many experts. Look, it's so hard to get people. We're doing so much fighting, trying to get people to even see that what they're doing is detrimental to dogs. When we see great dog training, we squawk about it. We squawk about it. Like, there's like 15 or 20 of us. Oh, my audio's changed. Let's check. How is it now? Microphone check. No change. Settings. Oh. How's that? Is that better? Yeah, okay. So the fact that we're spending more time trying to convince people that what they have learned is incorrect, that what they have learned is contributing to the problem. Look, I don't think I'm the god of dog training. There are people who I look up to that I'm like, do you see that? I don't know if you saw on Nikki's group, Bronson put the Schutzen. This guy's like 500 years old working with the mal and the blind. Did you hear a bad word come out of my mouth? I think I said flawless. Flawless, Danny, flawless. That's the hard part. The other part of this is that people. Nope. You look Asian.
better, worse. What? I moved.
I don't know. It looks like a fucking photo shoot. Just move.
I told her. Move. It's got 3 bars now. I don't know what's going on. Here you go, signal. No, I turned off my Wi-Fi to see if it was better. Just can't win.
Fine.
I just want to win.
Fine. I want you to talk about this. Find a place where you can have some internet. All right. So so these people that said, you know, this guy thinks he's this, and it's a shame that he has to make a career putting down other dog trainers. Where do you get that? Where do you get that? That shit on that mat where that dog was about to stroke out, that's not dog training. And that guy put me down. That guy threatened me. Where do you see? I see a dog in desperate trouble, and people, kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's like when you go back to the Salem witch trials and you just burn a witch and people are like, that's magnificent. There it is. That's some good shit right there. What are you talking about? What are we seeing that's different? Like, it's different. Jesus. It's so tough to be good at this, but everybody wants to make money at this. Everybody wants to get famous doing this. Everybody wants, they're using dogs and this art that up until the last 20 years, no one thought that they would get famous doing this. Do you know why? Because the dogs would suffer. No one thought, let's get rich doing this because the dogs would suffer. Now, dog trainers are taught about emotions, and they're taught about how to market. And they're taught by the people who are purely positive, or taught by the people who just weld the fuck out of a dog. Do you understand the e-collar problem? Does anybody understand that? Like, does anybody want to talk about that? Does anybody? No? All right. It's hard. Who wants that all the time? The kids that are getting rich as millionaires on YouTube. Kim, there's people on YouTube that I'll take Logan Paul that my kids used to watch. This guy, all these kids are competing for who can do the most outrageous thing. It's pretty much Jackass, and they're millionaires. They're millionaires. Think about that. They're millionaires. The more people that follow them, the more money they make. So their ethics go right out the fucking window. Right out the window. So this guy, Logan Paul, went to the suicide forest in Japan, and he took video of himself next to a guy in the woods who killed himself in shame, and he took video of it, and he got annihilated. But he's back. He's back. Like, what part of your brain has gone sideways when you say, you know what, I heard about the suicide forest. We should go there and do a video with a corpse that maybe the family doesn't know this guy's dead, and we'll put it on the internet. Yep. So when you hear that in that group, when I hear, I don't belong to groups. I don't. So the reason I don't do that, there's a guy I know training XL bullies with e-collars, and asked them what happens when you know the caller, and he went quiet. Yeah. Have a friend who won't come to the seminar because thinks you're mean. But I am, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. And the whole part of that is that so I think, Diane, correct me if I'm wrong, but the housewives of Minnesota are going to do a live with me tonight at 7:30 to talk about what it's like to go to a seminar. Is that correct? Okay, so YouTube live tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you guys can ask them any question you want. Any question you want. Now look, I don't know what they're going to say. I have no fucking idea. No fucking idea. But I don't care. They're going to get to talk. They can ask. We'll talk back and forth. But people are always like, hey, I'm not going to seminars. He's so mean. First of all, you're going to laugh way more than you do anything at one of my seminars. You're going to have a great time. What I tell people is, you'll laugh, you'll probably cry, and you'll think. And once you get that bullshit out of the way, we can train some fucking dogs. Takes people different amounts of time. And when I talk, the whole point of this live is, do you know the meaning of it's not the dog, it's you? There's nothing in your way of getting the information you need except for you. your ego, your fear, your pride, your greed, all of that shit, all of the human condition is what is in front of the information getting to you from the dog's eye point of view. I know people who have lost, yeah, you got to get out of your own way. And believe me, there's two things that happen. If I see effort, I'm going to push you. And I'm not pushing you in a bad way, but I'm going to be like, what did you just say? Do you hear yourself? No. And some things I'll say to you in private because I can say it on a live, but I won't. Unless you get really stupid, and then I'll go, okay, so here's what I was going to say. There's a delicate nature to it. There's a real delicate nature to you. But we have to fucking trust each other. If we can't fucking trust each other, and that's probably not going to happen on your first class, you have to believe with your eyes what you're seeing me do. Yeah, go ahead. I sent you a thing. Let's try it again. It's difficult, man. It's difficult. Reality is one of the, that's a little better.
God damn, you're loud.
I'm loud?
Yeah, you're my earphone. Anyway.
We were talking last night about how you tell the truth you tell is very well intended. Never do you say things that will...
With will intent.
Yeah. No, I'm not watching the YouTube chat as well. I don't know what's going on with my fucking phone here or my my computer. I'm gonna like shut down all non-essentials. Let me shut down.
Engaging essentials only.
All right, so we were talking a little bit about I mean, Elliot and I have some conversations that are like, how do we get the message across?
It's always that.
It's always that. Like, I mean, seriously, honest to God, we were up 2:30 in the morning this morning, and I'm like, Elliot, here's these screenshots from these people, and this is what, yeah, it is a never-ending conversation. Here's what these people think. And I'm like, you know, we don't go on the internet and annihilate them. You can't, it's hard with groups. Yeah, right. That's it, Kim. It's hard with groups because the minute you think you're better than everybody else in that group as a person, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. The minute you squash the ability for people, even the people who are wildly incorrect to ask questions, you're fucked because it doesn't give us the chance to respond. If you, and I know Elliot can do it really well, way better than I can, but I usually answer with a video.
Yes, because you're much better in person than I am.
Mm-hmm. And Elliot will answer with text that will make you question your very existence. So the opportunity to do that is very exhausting for us. But sometimes something pops up where it's worth it, where we'll go, all right, well, you know what? Get behind me. We're going to get shot at, but we'll get through it. And we go out there, and maybe it's somebody else who's watching the response that sees something that they've been looking for. But when you ban, and you chastise and you fucking annihilate people, I'll tell you what, we had talked about me trying to get on a group and just answering honestly. And if you guys want to see that, I'll do that as a Patreon extra. I'll get on a group and I'll go through. Yeah, I'm telling you, watch how people will just fucking, I will give every answer with respect. I'll give every answer with a demonstration. I'll give every answer. And you watch how everything but the dog training comes into it. Everything. Who the fuck do you think you are? Uh,
Nobody.
a member, a member of this group.
I am but a wee person. You are right.
Right? Why are you shaming me? I'm not shaming you. You asked for opinion. How long?
It's like you walk around and you're just like people think you just walk around and you're like, who can I fuck with today? When that is the absolute last thing on your mind.
No. Who can I help today is the first thing on my mind. Like, you get mad at me.
Yeah.
There's
Yes,
there's a dude who got pulled a gun on me that I tried to help, and you're like, punch him in the face.
Here, in fact, I'll just do it.
I cannot understand that hatred. I cannot. Because when you start these little fucking groups where you're the governor of fucking Lord of the Flies or Lord of the Phrase, that's what I call it, right?
Yeah.
You're now, you've got this control over everybody, and you suck as a dog trainer. You suck. You suck as a dog trainer. And you're gonna fucking shit on all the trolls, then you're just like everybody else. Where is the place? Like, I used to have a message board. I call them message boards. What the fuck are they?
Facebook groups.
Yeah, Facebook group. Thank you for being condescending while you did that. When you do that, condescending means talking down to you, Elliot.
Thank you for clarification.
Did you see
confused.
the irony? Did you see the irony? That was awesome.
That was great. That was fantastic.
So the whole thing is, if I do that, if I go into a group and I just go pure dog training with video backup, what do you think's going to happen?
People just get pissed. Oh.
I'll ask you. I'll ask you, Elliot.
Yes.
You have worked with a lot of dog trainers, yes?
Yes.
Am I qualified as a dog trainer?
Yes.
Am I qualified as a behaviorist?
Yes.
Could I possibly qualify as a human psychologist?
Yes.
Yeah. Out of all the things I'm good at,
that's the scariest one.
Yep. But I don't use my powers for evil, do I?
No, you don't. You could.
No. Because if I did, there'd be someone in Texas hanging from a rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, do the Hannibal Lecter on him. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yes.
I just back the fuck off because there's a lot of mental instability on that ship.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
So you don't do it. And so what I'm trying to say is, as entertaining is it for everybody to watch how I get annihilated, what about the dogs? We've got to save the dogs.
Oh my God, I can't. I'm gonna say it.
Do it.
No, I can't.
Do it.
I am not in the right state of mind.
Do it.
What about the dogs? We've got to save them. When the dogs are safe, we can fight. What? Oh, that's where we're going with this? Damn. What are we doing?
People don't know. They're not laughing. They don't know. They've forgotten.
They don't know. No, because you never let that out.
I know. See,
The dogs. Who gives a fuck about the dogs? That's where it comes down to.
I'm trying to. Go ahead.
You're trying to find it?
Go ahead.
No, that's just something that I don't see how you can possibly say you care about your dog, your kid, somebody else, if you don't give a fuck about the mental state they're in. Like, your dog is on more sedative than I've been on.
And you've been on some.
State mandated. How is that? I'm like, the other day I had a client come into the place that I work at.
Remember I told you about the edge?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking inventory of his stuff, just making sure his feeding's correct. And I get to his medications and I'm like, God damn. This dog is on 200 milligrams of trazodone a day, and he weighs like 8 pounds.
Oh my God.
I was like, Jesus Christ, this dog just is a limp noodle.
Yeah.
Like, there's
the dog won't sit. More trazodone.
Oh, the dog's sitting now. He can't get up.
All the trazodone.
And so I call, because at this point I'm not gonna give this dog
more trazodone.
What? And then it's on 200 milligrams a day, and it's on an as needed once a day for an extra 100. And I'm like, so I don't even call the owners. I call the vet. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm supposed to potentially give this dog 300 milligrams. He's 8 pounds. What? I have 100 milligrams to play with? Like, you know what? I didn't like the way you looked at me today. Here's an extra 100. Good night. The dog's going to wake up.
I go sleep right here. Oh, good night.
The dog's going to wake up one day and be like, why can't I feel my hips? Because he's like, he's dying, and he's finally like, all that trazodone wore off. And he's like, the vet is, and the receptionist who answers, bless her little heart, she wasn't ready, because I was like, I need to talk to the vet. Like, I need to talk to the doctor that prescribed this now. And he's like, or she tells me, well, he can call you back. And I'm like, I'm here till 5. He better call me back.
Did he call you back?
Yes, he did.
What'd you say?
I said, so it's your medical professional advice. What did this dog do? Should I be concerned that this dog should be on this much sedative?
Look at Elliot.
Is he going to eat somebody? Did he eat somebody? Because, like, should we look at, like, possibly just putting this dog out of its misery? Because it might as well be in a coma.
Well, there's no more than that.
Oh, my God. So this man gets very frustrated with me.
Of course.
Because I'm being much nicer than I am right now. I'm just asking. Yeah. This isn't safe. Because what people don't understand about a dog like this dog could be in so much pain and nobody will ever know. Yeah. He's bleeding out, but he's like, it happens. Like, he's just sitting there like and the other thing is, like, people who have been on sedative, when you hit a certain amount, you're almost coherent in your own head, but you can't, like, nothing. You're just sitting there like, yeah, this sucks, but I can't do anything about it. Like, to put something that you love into that state of mind and be like, he's great, look at him, and he's just what? So I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna find out how bad this dog really is, because I'm not gonna give him this much sedative.
Why?
So
why are you giving, not you, but them, why are you giving a 6-pound animal enough medication to render me useless at 330 pounds, and no one's questioning it?
No, Kathy, they did not tell me, because then he goes, well, HIPAA. And I said, HIPAA? This is an animal. No, that was his. That's like, that's where it went to. Was like, well, I can't give you information without the owner's consent. And I'm like, cool. You have a nice day. Just want you to know you're fucking it up. But you have a license. Perfect.
And then I get vets giving out behavior advice, and then vets saying that guy doesn't know what he's doing. That guy's very angry. I'm angry. You were up on charges 2 years ago because you let a dog, Italian Greyhound with a broken leg, came in. These two old ladies, dog was my client. They came in because Italian Greyhounds just break. They just break. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. So they go
Everything
in.
is so great about Iggy's except for that. I love Iggy's.
Yeah, but they break. So no, it's like taking a tarantula and dropping it from like 5 feet in the air. All the legs are going to come off. So now this dog is in pain. It's never really been trained, and it's trying to bite the vet. So they take it in the back room, and he punches the dog in the face, and he kills it.
Yeah.
It's in the paper. It's in the paper.
That'll do it.
Nobody said shit. They said, oh, the dog went into shock and it died. And then about 6 months later, a vet tech got the footage from the surveillance cam and played it. And this guy got a suspended license for 2 years. Okay.
Ooh.
No, well, but look, people burn out, man. People burn out. They get to a point where, look, you know what I was thinking today, Elliot, when I got up? This is why a day like today is why there's mandatory fishing days.
Yes.
Because you have to get out of it. You have to get out of it. Guys, the misery that we put up with, like I told Elliot, we were killing ourselves laughing last night. Killing ourselves. Do you know why we're laughing? So we don't cry. Like, so, no, I'm not kidding.
You're not.
That's how we both handle stresses, with humor.
Yes.
You start going like, you hear this ridiculous bullshit, and you're like, people are mad at what we're doing?
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't, like, oh God, it doesn't matter, like, what the animal is going through. And people, like, they don't understand how that stress is not sustainable.
11
and that's why
quarter cups of food a day.
Yeah, and I just had to say, your dog's gonna die.
But
like,
you know what woke that person up a little bit? Tell them the story, because you need to tell it. And it's not mean. It's just the fact that, first of all, the person we were talking to wanted to come to the seminar, had some problems with their dog. Their dog's like Auschwitz skinny. Like Auschwitz skinny. Shaking like this with a big old fucking e-collar like this big around the neck, but not even connected, right? And
it's a reminder.
And the person's I'm sure the person's a nice person, but the problem is when I started to say, here, you want my attention, that person wants the cure, but not the attention.
Right.
Now, you were there. Did I go, what the fuck are you doing? Did I do that?
No.
Do I take extraordinarily care being patient, like beyond what should be tolerated?
Yeah,
right?
I didn't have that.
You still don't. So
well, I mean, like with that person, I did not have that.
No, I know you got it. But then you get someone who's like, I didn't get my dog worked enough because you can't handle it right now. Yeah, I'm not here to work your dog. You're missing the point.
Right.
That the other person who said they didn't get their dog worked took 5.5 pages of notes. Like, no, I could not have answered every one of their. Did I answer every one of that person's questions? Every one.
Yes.
But the bitch was, you didn't work my dog enough. That's why we do private lessons. That's why we do private lessons. Now, let me tell you something. At the end of a fucking 10-hour day, which is a 12-hour day, and I got to start taking lessons, that's tough, man. Like, you were gassed. Like, I was like, not physically, but mentally, you were like, I will kill everybody in this room. Like, it was bad. And I was like, all right, go take a break. I'll do that. Dylan, the last time we were in Minnesota before this, Dylan fell asleep standing up.
Yeah, I heard.
So the whole thing is you expect everything of me. You expect my best. Well, then I expect your best.
Why is that crazy?
Why? So this
But
person,
I mean,
this
you
person,
also like this is a day-to-day battle for these people because you expect the best out of your dog, but you don't expect to give the best to your dog. Like, where does that make sense?
but people go home and do the same shit that got them there in the first place, and they're like, I went to that seminar, it sucked. I went home, my dog's still shaking like a leaf. So I tried to work with the person, and I get it. It's a lot of attention, and there's people who are I got to start getting back to that. Like, who wants my best? And everybody raise their hand. If they don't, fine. Who wants the truth? And that's kind of how it is in the beginning. But everybody's so fucking soft, and everybody, you can't. How can you own a dog if you can't lead? Getting mad at your dog is not leading. I'm just saying to you, this is the thing.
No, and it was just like, and with that particular dog, like there was not a single minute that dog stopped and just like accepted that it was in a crate. Like that when there was no attention on it, it never accepted that it was in a crate. And I'm like, you know, and it's barking, and so like it got to the point where like the dog would be barking, and she would look at me to throw the water, and I'm like, it's not even fair. I can't get this dog to be quiet by the pattern interrupt.
One of the things we'll do with a dog is if we don't throw water on the dog. So
Sorry,
that's what I mean. Is like people are gonna go,
yeah,
what the fuck are they? Right? Because people want to hear, like everybody will hear blah, 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 throw water at the dog, blah, 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 blah. That's what they take out. That's how I got my nose broken.
Come break my nose. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Come on. I'll give you my address. It's fine.
No, you're gonna see Elliot show up on a live when she's up here going like, so yeah. But my point is so I tried to work with the person to make a point, and the person became a little bit passive aggressive, sabotaged what I was trying to do. So I pointed that out, right? Did I go, you fucking
very nicely way?
No, I said, okay, you don't want to play, that's fine. If you understood the mental capacity, the tax that it puts on me to switch from dog to dog, from person to person, and watch the husbands in the corner who can't fucking keep their hands still, and people go, he doesn't miss anything. That's why when I go back to the hotel room, I fall down. And what's really cool about that is now I have someone who just jumps out at me and scares the fuck out of me while I'm trying to relax. I'm like Mr. Potato Head, and you're fucking jumping out at me, and I'm like, ugh!
No, it's not even that. It's like you're like, I'm gonna get you, and I'm like, you're not.
So how? Because one of the things you see in people, okay? No, I understand, Tina, but that's what I mean. It's if she has trust issues, I can't get to the dog to help that dog that needs help very, very quickly. I can't get to that dog because of her trust issues. I understand that. But can I help that dog? Yes, most certainly. I can do a lot better for that dog. But I'm not allowed to because the human has trust issues. That's not her fault, but that's what I'm saying. It's not the dog, it's you. Now, when someone has trust issues or insecurity issues, or they don't like being on the spot, they go back to their foundation. And you're like, what are you doing? I'm trying to help you. Well, you made me feel. Fuck off. You made you feel.
You know what's funny is I have so I was like scrolling through some, I don't know what I was looking for. I was looking for something. But I found pictures from the seminar where you threw water at my face. And and you can tell, like I can tell in some of the pictures, I was like, no, don't come over here. Like you had me and my dog in the corner, and I was like, what do you like? I can see it. I'm like, I come closer. And you never did. You like, can I have your dog? And I had to hand you the dog. And
But
you would ask.
so I misread that.
Okay.
Because I thought you were fragile. Because fight and flight are two sides of the same coin.
Right.
And you don't expect someone to be like, it's because I've just met you. And so it's like, okay, we got to figure that out. I need some more intel, right? But going back to the girl with the trust issues and the dog, here's the thing. When she said, I said, what do you feed your dog? And she said, blah, blah, blah. And I said, how much food do you feed a day? And this dog's anorexic. And she said, what?
11 and a half cups.
11 and a half cups a day. This dog vibrates all day long from stress, and it burns calories, burns them mentally, physically, and emotionally. That dog needs help. I can't help that dog because the owner's in my way. The owner puts themselves in front of the dog and then tells me, you're a dick, or you made me feel, or I have this issue. Look, that's what fucking parenting is. You change to be a better person for your child. I was not a great person. I was not. And Elliot knows the same thing. We come from very similar backgrounds. And it takes a long time to go, what? Well, you know what did it for me? Kids. I was like, oh shit, I got to sober up here. I got to get right. And I don't mean sober up like drugs and alcohol like that fucking bitch. I'm talking
You
about
gotta wake up.
So yeah. So the whole thing. And here's another thing. Here's these personal moments that we're putting out there. What more can we do? What can we do? How can we help any more than we're trying to help? I told April on the way in here today, I said, the dog thing on behavior, I got it. I got that locked down. So the people thing I'm actually better at. But I can't get, I have 15 people at, what is it, 6-hour seminar? What do you want me to do? And people are like, oh, it costs a lot of money. I'm like, what? Like, I can't walk for a week after I do these seminars, right? Like, that, right? That I'm after the seminar, I'm on a plane in basically a tuna fish can going home like this, and I'm terrified to fly. So how did you finally get, so I said, I can't reach her. I can't reach her. So I'm aware of that. So I say, Elliot, and this was Elliot's first test, because remember, you're in apprentice land, okay? So I go, I want to see how Elliot handles it. So I say, Elliot, would you take this lady outside and work with her and her dog? Yep. Please describe that experience.
So we're going to the car. She's walking the dog, and she keeps asking me about how do I do the correction?
Watching. Danny's watching. Hi, Danny. Danny's going to leave now. Danny's going to run away. Go ahead.
She keeps asking me how to like pop the dog back. Like, how does she give that correction? And I'm like, that's not.
Oh, not you, Danny. Another Danny. DANNI. It's not always about you.
Yeah, Danny. Jesus. You're DDP anyway. So
DDP.
So we get to the car, and I tell her it's not really about the correction. And we're talking outside the car. She puts the dog in the car, and
oh, that's not it.
Whatever. The dog is just loose in the car, but he just spinning front to back, 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 and just won't. The car is just rocking while we're sitting outside for a good like 10, 15 minutes, and she starts explaining to me about like the diet stuff, and I go, well, isn't it? It's not alarming to you that you have a 3-year-old, 4-year-old that is eating that much and you're not doing anything with it? And she's like, well, I'm hoping that when we get into this bird hunting stuff, and I'm like,
Bird hunting?
yeah, she wants to do hunting with it, or her boyfriend. And I'm like, well, whose dog is it? She says it's her dog. And I go, well, you're gonna have to tell the boyfriend that he's gonna have to look for another dog when he's ready to train a dog up, because this dog, like, that's not where this dog needs to get. This dog needs to not be eating 11.5 cups and still underweight. And she's very combative about everything I'm saying. And so like I can see she's also really not paying attention to me. She's kind of looking around at people who are leaving. Like there's not like attentiveness. So then I go, well, or you could not, and you got a 7-year-old dog. And she kind of like doesn't understand what I say at first. She looks at me and I can tell she's looking at me a little confused. And I go, your dog's going to die at 7. Like that's as many years as I would say this dog has left in this state, because this is not sustainable. Like you cannot just keep increasing the food, and you obviously have increased the food so much and it's not helping. So eventually the body's going to just give out. The stress that you're causing on the heart, the lungs, and all this stuff is just.
Now read the comment.
She's a vet tech. She doesn't want to admit what she already knows. I think that was the turning point for her. Yeah, for sure. It was, I mean, like I didn't know what else to say, because it was everything. There was a combat to everything, was an answer. And the fact is your dog can't live like that. Not long. I mean, it can, but it's not. If you're cool with having a dog that and those that breed, they're known for living a long time. So, if you're cool with significantly decreasing the life of that dog, that's not my dog.
And then she's like this.
Yeah, and it was very like it was night and day. And so we talked a little bit about what it does to the liver, what it does to the kidneys, and I told her, I said, like if it were my dog, I'd get blood work done on it and just watch it. But that's what I like to do. Like I have so much blood work on my dogs where I'm just watching when I'm doing different things. It matters how it affects the animal. It matters to me.
But the thing is, so hang on a second. So my whole thing is I'm watching Tina, who's friends with her, right? But but what I'm saying is that so many people, I promise you, I will give you my best. I promise you. So here's the deal. If I'm trying to give you, so there was a guy out there that had that American Bulldog thing, and you can tell what people are going to do by the questions that they ask. Like there's people out there who are like, so if you have a dog who's resource guarding, what is that going through the dog's head? And I will spend an hour going through that, and how you can get something else to get the dog to go, oh, I thought this was my shit. Because resource guarding is looked at as the dog's just guarding. No, it's not guarding. That's a fucking message of who's the teacher, who's the student, what the value of things are. How did it get like that? Like, I mean, I can break that down like a fraction for an hour. I could do 6 hours on it, right?
Yeah.
But when your question after I talk to you that your dog tried to bite me is, when do I get to play with my dog again? Until you start asking better questions and staying awake through the seminar, I'm not really going to throw a lot of attention your way, because I'm not there to go, da-da-da, da-da-da, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. I have a picture. Do you remember I told you, you're going to love this. Oh, how do I do this? You remember when I told you that I was doing a seminar at Foxwoods? Foxwoods Casino, the Massapequa and something Indian tribe they own the casino, so they have this this hall where it's an amphitheater. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful location I've ever done a seminar at. It's like big, steep in the round kind of things. It's
right.
Beautiful. I'll post some pictures. So I tell people all the time, you do not want to be on your fucking cell phone at one of these events. You don't want to do that.
Right.
And they're like, no, it's fine. So so this picture, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so this lady, I told her 3 fucking times, do not answer your cell phone.
Oh my God.
Shut it off. And so she goes, well, it's my boyfriend. And I go, I don't care if it's the Pope. Other people are here and you need to focus. And this was a bite prevention seminar. Okay. So I said, please, I'm telling you, I'm going to ask you to leave if you do it again. Yeah, whatever. Does it again. I go up to the back of the auditorium. I come down. I grab the phone out of her hand. And I go, hey, who's this? And he goes, who's this? And I said, oh, it's Karen's boyfriend. He goes, no, I'm her boyfriend. I go, well, she's got my dick in her mouth, so I think I'm the boyfriend now. And I hand the phone back to her, and everybody shut off their fucking cell phones. Everybody shut off their fucking cell phones.
That'll do it.
Well, you want to fucking play games? Let's play games. Fuck, shit. Like, what are we doing?
I love games. I love games.
But I mean, that but then I'm the asshole. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And I mean,
I don't know how to make my screen come back.
You'll figure it out. You got it, buddy.
Yeah, I will. Hang on. I'll get it.
Yeah. But I mean, and going back to her in the seminar.
Oh, look at this. Hang on.
What?
Hang on. I found this on my, look at, look what's coming.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Isn't
that cool?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can't handle it.
Can't wait for that.
I have no idea how to get this back.
Just.
Wait, I got it. There we go. Okay.
Wow. Good job.
So the thing we do here, and we're trying to get better at it, is to realize that the problem with dogs is people. The problem with dogs is society. The problem with dogs is the helpless culture, and that the dogs don't have a job, that the dogs don't have purpose, that everything that you're doing with the dog is contributing to why you have dog problems. And it's a hard look in the mirror for people. It really is. But don't you think that's needed right now? I mean, everybody's like, what's the answer to sheltering and homeless dogs and all these bites? We have the answer, but we don't want that answer. We want the answer of love, likes, subscribe, and money.
It's crazy. And then it's crazy, like the screenshot you sent me, like people really think that they still want to say that, oh, this guy's trying to get famous. What are we talking about?
If I was trying to get famous, I would be famous. I turned down 3, the back half of that fucking, hey, welcome to the cool. That was an Animal Planet Sizzler.
Yeah.
That was, I said no. I said no so many times. My producer was like, I will stab you in the face if you say no again. I said, look, dude, I'm not doing what they're doing. What?
No.
Like, what are you doing? Great guy, trying to be a producer, trying to do producer things. And I'm like, nope, we're going to do this the way I want to do this, because it's not about fame. Here's something else about fame. These kids do not know what fame will do to you. It will kill you. If you don't have enough life experience to understand yourself, fame will eat your soul alive. You look at all the great actors who are dead because they got fame and they couldn't handle it. The acting didn't kill them. The fame killed them. People want you to dance. You end up like Chris Farley or Heath Ledger. You end up like those people because they're crazy. They get addicted to it. Fame is fleeting, and I know that. Fame is fleeting. It will leave you in the fucking dust. Robin Williams. That breaks my heart. I still can't even watch anything from Robin Williams. He was my idol. You see people. It's not that. It's that the public's going more, and bang, it just blows up. And if you make one mistake, they will hang you. They will hang those people that love you now. So if I say Elliot or I did something really stupid that was a lapse in judgment that most of you have done, oh my God, it's not about the dog training anymore. People do not allow people to learn from their lessons. They do not allow that anymore. And the more famous you get, like someone was telling me they read the Penetrator's book, and they said it's all about him and how he got famous. Those people are doing more harm to dogs than you can ever imagine.
You're muted. I cannot. It's great. It's great. There's a little, I mean, like, you know what's funny is there's a little like microphone with it like mute, which means there's a button somewhere, and I don't know if he knows where it's at. We got to have like a manual in front of him. Click this button now. And he went away. Great.
I don't even know. And my mic, it's not.
Oh. There you go. Oh, that's great. Oh man. You're good now.
Yeah, but it's not. It's the shitty mic.
What happened?
My Yeti mic, this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, no, why don't you go fuck yourself? And I'm like, all right, why don't I go fuck myself?
It's always when you get too heated.
And I know it does. When passionate Chris comes out, microphones stop.
Passion mutes you.
You can hear me at least.
Yes. Yeah. Well, now you're gone.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to get famous.
He cannot even work his.
You can see from the great production the value of the product. Welcome to the coolest. Like, what the fuck? Look around me. Look where I am. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? I'm rebuilding my life. Getting famous. Eat a bag of dicks.
Eat a bag of.
Yeah, I want to be famous for welding a dog to a fucking placemat. I want to be famous for jamming my fingers up a dog's ass to break up a dog fight. But, oh my God, it's the wrong dog. I jammed my fingers up the ass of the dog that's getting bitten.
He just wanted to.
And I'm giving a seminar.
Just wanted to finger up the ass.
Stop. I'm too old to get famous. Like, if you know anything about fame, if you know anything about fame, there's a formula. They want a 20-something who's very pretty, who has a ton of personality on the camera, and will do what they say. They want you to follow that formula. I'm 54. I have diabetes. I look like this, and I get angry about shit. Like I get outspoken. This is the anti-formula for fame. This is not going to get famous. Do you understand that? Like what they're doing now is going, well, he's 54. I mean, he might be dead by 55, right? So we're not going to invest in that, right? Like, I mean, people.
But it's okay. We have a plan for that, people.
We do. Do you want to tell them the plan?
Button.
You
No.
want to- What? No, what?
No, because it's just all in due time.
Okay.
Hopefully, it never happens.
No, hopefully it never happens, but it involves law enforcement with you and health conditions with me, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And this face, like that face.
Yeah.
Can we bring Chris out to endorse this product?
Stop. Just stop. Just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah. All in all, it's not the dog. It's Chris.
Yeah. It's hard, man. It's hard, and I talked about it last night. I'm trying to talk about it today. It's too much reality for these fucking people. Like they can't. How can you be a dog expert at 21 years old? How? How? Just tell me how. Tell me how. Show me. Show
I've
me
been
how.
training dogs since I was 2.
Oy. And it's we have to stop fucking like if you love dogs,
That's all.
you don't you love the idea of dogs.
You love the fact that there's something that you can somewhat control without too much protest. At the very least, you could beat the piss out of it, and nobody would look twice.
I'm just saying, like, it's a curse. So this is probably why. When you get to the level where you can read people and dogs really well, you start to go, oh fuck, it's bad out there. It's bad. And you really don't understand because you live in these groups and you live in these business models and you live in these like I need to get money. I need to be good at this because money is what makes you good at this. Money is not what makes you good at this. Money, trying to make money at this when you're not good at this will make you very, very bad at this. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not. False. Well, you're false. Yeah, I don't know.
What? Go ahead.
It's all
No.
just fake shit. It's just the what?
No, Chris said short career. It won't be. It'll be a long career.
Of bullshit.
But that's why
Short career for the dog.
that's why people
That's like the whole.
but people who don't know what they're doing burn out very quickly because they get overwhelmed. They don't understand that they can see that a dog is getting sick, or they don't understand that the dog is so stressed and what to do with the dog to build it back up. Like I saw this moron on a live that said every dog that comes in here gets a muzzle, an e-collar, and a prong. What? Run the fuck away from that. The fuck, I'm telling you, if there's one, that's not jealousy. That's me saying, you're so bad at this that you take people's money and you announce that every dog gets a prong, a muzzle, and an e-collar. Where's the training? Where's the observation?
Yeah, I hear a lot from like trainers in my area. They're like, oh, if so and so would just put a prong on their dog, it would be fixed. And I'm like, what?
You're gonna run into the
What are
wrong
you
dog.
talking about? I mean, like people coming in. So yeah, but I mean, it's like, I've got this, and I there the conflict with my like clients and stuff is like I've been very on this stuff, and so now that I'm going to New Hampshire, I'm like, well, you can call me, but I don't really know who to send you to. Like, I can't, in good conscience, send you to somebody, to
In my
anybody.
area.
Like I've got this, 12-week-old or 13-week-old Dalmatian puppy who's a solid puppy, nice dog, like super fun. We've had nothing but fun working with this dog. It's funny because the husband is like just wants to just grab it and hold it and squish it. So I took the dog for a couple of days and I'm like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this dog. It's great. So I was kind of trying to, there's somebody in my area who wants to do more, and I'm like, this is an easy dog. And so I kind of started just talking to him about it, and he was like, oh yeah, we'll wait till like 4 months to put a prong on it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? The dog, like, you're already going into that. And I'm like, never mind. So I had to tell them yesterday, I'm like, I have nobody to send you to after this. So, they're trying to get as many lessons in as they can before I leave. Because I was like, we can do video chats and I can try and explain things to you now that we know how, I know a little bit more how you work and all this stuff and how the dog works, but it's just not going to be the same. And they go back and forth to Florida. So they're like, well, it's really not that far of a drive from Florida. And I'm like, I guess not. I mean, I can't tell you not to go.
But here's the deal, is that over and over again, you see people talking about their methodology and they're wrong. There was a guy on a live with Muto, that guy Muto, and this was like 6 months ago, and he said, yeah, I don't do board and trains anymore. And this guy's talking like he knows what he's talking about, because the dogs always get diarrhea, and I'm not waking up to cleaning crates at 3 a.m. And I'm like, why are the dogs well, if that's a problem with every dog you get in, well, then you listen a little more. And he says, the dog has to work for its food. The dog doesn't get any food unless it works for it. Well, now I know why the diarrhea is there. Like that simple thing that you're missing can dehydrate a dog so fucking fast.
And if you're not giving the dog a clear answer, the stress of like, here's the food, do something. They're like, what do you need me to do? And it doesn't make sense. Like, it's just, you get the shit. You get fucking bloody diarrhea. You're like, the body just starts to go, I need that food.
So I don't do board and trains anymore because the dogs are too much of a pain in the ass.
Perfect.
We can't. So I'm a hater for saying that. Like, that answer is wrong because you have the experience. But when you say that to someone who doesn't have the experience but is looked at as a fucking superstar in the industry, why are you a superstar? Because people don't know what the fuck they're looking at. And people don't want to be told the truth. And if you make anybody feel like they're doing something wrong, then they fucking blow up at you. You have a great story about that, don't you? Listen, I have to go. It's a job. You're supposed to do your job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll tell that next week.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not this week. Right?
Not this week. No, not this week.
Can't do it.
Give me a few days.
Well,
no.
We have to end our alignment with Satan before you do that. Yeah.
Right.
Right. So I have to go because I have a chat with someone in Panama, and I have to take care of that. 7:30 tonight with the Minnesota squad to talk about what is it like at the seminar. Okay. So that's, I hope you come in and join us too.
Yeah,
so if you,
6:30 for me.
I don't know what Ike's breakdown is. I want to break it down. I want to break it down real nice. And then I think I want to break it down again, then again, and again, because so that Ike video is now on your live or theirs. It's on mine. It'll be here. 7:30. Eastern, yeah. So that video, this is what I mean, is that when people tell you, here's a technique, are you fucking kidding? We're not even at technique. I'll break that video down and you guys will be overwhelmed. And then I'll break it down. I'll add more to it and you'll be broken down more. When this shit starts to become clear to you, you either freak out and leave or you go, wait, what do I do? And that's when the curiosity comes out, right? So the curiosity is, wow, that's fascinating. All the guilt, Oh my God. Well, you didn't know. And you had dog trainers that were telling you to fry them, prong them, and fucking choke them. I don't blame you, but I do blame you when you don't take the help that is going to help your dog, if that makes sense at all.
Right. Right.
Nope.
Correct. Accurate. Makes sense.
Facts. All right. So I'll see you guys at 7:30 tonight, and I'll see you in Texas this weekend. And then,
Are you flying in Friday?
yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Look, people are going to
I
start talking
know.
that I'm useless without adulting.
I'll ask April
Okay, good.
or Danny.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to us. You know, be good to your dogs and smarten the fuck up, please.